on display.
But now we're on to Silent Hill, and part of the reason is because Silent Hill's having a little bit of a revival, as I understand it. I'm not a hardcore Silent Hill fan. I've seen a lot of the games be played. I played the first one when I was very young, and I played the second one when I was very young. Um, and I've seen the third and fourth one be played in person. You know, it's watching my friend on the PS2. But so there's a new short Silent Hill kind of a la PT, right? It was free and it was just dropped. We might hit that a little bit. But why'd you choose Silent Hill 3? Because as far as I recollect, we haven't done 1 or 2 or any other Silent Hill games here on Platinum, and I assume you've platinumed other Silent Hill games. So tell us a little bit about why you picked 3.
Um, Short Story is my favorite Silent Hill game, and it's by a landslide my favorite. It's just like I adore this game, and I just really love how they kind of refined the game design they had in the series on this game, and they made it make sense. It's not bad in the sake of being bad. It's more bad that you really feel that Heather is not prepared to fight these monsters, kind of. So it plays into the actual story and game design being, made one for the other instead of being technical issues, I guess.
Yeah, I have. I definitely, like I said, when you brought up Silent Hill 3, I said it was the most uncomfortable of at least like the first 3 or 4. Um, I kind of separate the room, and I was surprised to learn, I think like a couple years back, that this game and the room were developed almost simultaneously, because the room started as some other game, but then became a Silent Hill game or something like that, right? But
Yeah, that's what people usually say. I'm not sure about it because, there's a lot of crazy stuff on this Silent Hill fandom about information control and stuff.
so
Great.
My dad worked at Konami. He said it's true.
well, the second thing that I really wanted to ask, obviously, was, this game released in 2003 on the PS2, so the trophies to platinum it were added after. And I wanted you to talk a little bit about that, both in the sense of what did they add in and what are the trophies like, but then also, what do you think about adding that kind of, feature to older games? Because it's something that's come up before when we've talked about older games that have, had trophies added in. But so yeah, I wanted to kind of get that out of the way early on, because it's people will be looking at this and they've probably experienced this game in many different ways. They either played it when it originally came out, they played I believe it was re-released in the HD collections, right? Or they watched it on YouTube, and there's even one of the Silent Hill movies is loosely based on the plot of 3. Obviously, it's not like they made 3 into a movie or anything, but people are familiar with elements of this for all kinds of reasons. So yeah, tell us, what are the trophies, and how do you feel about it?
The trophies are pretty good, surprisingly good for a game like this. Of course, there's the basic stuff like unlocking the normal ending, the possessed ending, getting the UFO ending, stuff that I would expect to get. But there's also stuff like completing the games in 3 hours or less, or finishing the entire game with 2 saves, which is pretty cool. Or like you almost have to 100% this game to get it, and that at least takes like three walkthroughs to the game. You have to beat it 3 times to get the platinum at minimum, and then you have to find all the secret weapons. Like you can find like a lightsaber in one of the playthroughs, and you can just like slash the monsters with the lightsaber. So I was always getting something new, a new incentive to do a new game plus. So that was great. So getting like a flamethrower, or getting like the princess heart costume, so you can get
This
a
one
header
has
to have a.
It has a UFO ending too, doesn't it?
Yes, it's the funniest UFO ending in the series, in my opinion. It's great. It's like peak comedy. But
That was always so years and years ago, when I was like a Snake Soup Metal Gear teen in the like MGS2 age, There was the PSP Silent Hill or something that had a planned joke ending that connected loosely to Metal Gear, and it was never made, but the like existence of it, or at least the idea of it, is out there, whether that's real or not. But I always love the fact that Silent Hill had this kind of sense of doing like, yeah, do a fucking joke UFO ending. That's great. Um, but I vaguely remember the ending too, and isn't it just like aliens come and blow up Silent Hill?
Yeah, and it's funny because when you get into the rumors header, because you need to finish the game really fast and you need to do a lot of requirements for the UFO ending. So you arrive home, Mason is still alive on this ending, and surprisingly, even James is on the house too. Like James is there.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And then they are just like talking to their alien friends, all that happened, and Hatters was like, Dad, there's some crazy shit going on. And then they like tell the UFOs about what happened in Silent Hill. They get mad and it just destroy the place. Just like amazing, man. Just like great ending for this game.
Awesome. Well, the other thing that I always like have to ask, and I'm gonna wrap this into another question, is how hard is it to get the platinum? But I kind of also want you to talk about like why would somebody want to get the platinum on a game that is so old? Like I know a lot of people have that barrier, like oh, this game's from 2003, and even the most recent re-release isn't exactly gonna be kind to a younger audience necessarily, let's say, in terms of mechanics and game design. So like what is the difficulty, but also what is the appeal? Does does platinuming it enhance it beyond it forces you to get all the content in the game, or is that the main draw? Oh, did we lose him? Oh, we may have lost Harlem. Well, if anybody else
Yeah,
knows,
also.
yeah, I was gonna say if anybody else is a big Silent Hill 3 fan, feel free to jump on. That's a dude, that's a bummer because I would actually really want to know how hard it is to get to platinum. You said you have to
Can I
beat
hear?
it multiple times. Yeah, you're back.
There
You're
he
back.
is.
But did you hear my
Okay.
question? Did you hear all that?
No, I couldn't.
Okay, no problem, man. All I was gonna say is, how hard is it to get the platinum? But then also, is it worth getting? Like, who is it worth getting for? It's etc. Is it mostly a content platinum where it's like juice the whole game and you end up with the trophy?
Yeah, it's like I think the platinum of this game really enhances how made this game was made, like for its time. Because as you are getting the platinum, you're doing your routes. You notice like every single playthrough, you're getting something new. You know, getting a new item, you're getting like new descriptions, new place to visit. Like I said, like the beam saber or like the golden and silver pipes. But there's a section where you have to throw like I think it's an electric cable on the water so the monster doesn't get you. And I think you do some additional steps and you can get the some fairies to show up and they ask you if you lost the gold pipe. And if you say you did, they call you a liar and they go away. So if you say you didn't lost anything, they are like, "Oh, great! Here's the golden pipe because you are an honest person." So there's a lot of like silly extra stuff, and it's really worth it. It's a 4 or 5 out of 10 difficulty wise. It depends on the person for this types of games because I think of course most Silent Hill fans don't actually play Silent Hill. Let's make that clear. So I think making them play Silent Hill 3 times is a little bit much for their taste. So I don't think I should tell them to go get for the platinum. I think I'm gonna recommend actually finishing the game this time for
Well,
Silent Hill fans
on
that
that
listen.
on that note, then my last real question to you, because I figured this one would be kind of short and sweet, because this is a classic game. Like, let's not beat around the bush
Yeah.
here. I don't
Three
really
out of
have
10.
to. You or I don't have to tell anybody why to play Silent Hill 3. It's a classic game. It's a beloved game. But what I will say is, how would you say is the best way to play this game currently? I've never played it. I want to go play it now. What's the best way to play it?
I think the best version of Silent Hill 3 and 2 right now are on PC with the community patches because
Okay.
they fixed so many of the issues the PS3 version had, and even some of the PS2 version issues. Because I remember some version of Silent Hill 2, for example, like on the Xbox, have better things than the PS2 version, and vice versa. And the modders basically added that in on the PC version, and you also get silly mods on the PC version. So I'd say play this on PC if you never played Silent Hill, Silent Hill 3, or if you are a Silent Hill fan and you never played the games, I think you should play the PC version, because
Awesome.
it's the best one.